January 3rd, 2026, 3 a.m. Caracas is sleeping, but it's asleep on the edge of a razor blade.
Power down.
At Fuerte Tiuna, the military heartbeat of Venezuela, the radar screens just flickered and died. For the man sleeping in the presidential suite, this isn't just a blackout. It is the end of his world. "45 minutes later, the news breaks the internet. Nicolás Maduro is gone. Not resigned, not escaped. Extracted. Washington calls it Operation Absolute Resolve. The headlines call it the most audacious snatch and grab in history. But if you look past the breaking news, you will find a darker truth. To understand this night, you have to understand the target. The United States didn't just watch Maduro. They mapped his entire existence. They knew his paranoia. They knew his schedule. They knew the exact price of his loyalty. Since March 2020, when the Department of Justice put a $15 million bounty on his head, Maduro ceased to be a president. He became a product. Officially, he was the head of the Cartel of the Suns, accused of flooding American streets with cocaine to destabilize the West. But let's be honest, you don't deploy a Tier 1 kill team just for drugs. This raid wasn't about justice. It was about the 300 billion barrels of oil sitting beneath Venezuelan soil. For a decade, Washington watched in horror as its own backyard was sold off. China poured over $100 billion into Caracas, buying influence and infrastructure. Russia secured the oil fields and military ports. Venezuela had become a fortress for America's rivals. And in 2026, with global energy markets crashing, the United States decided the game was over. This was an eviction notice. Enter the Shadow Squad, a hybrid unit of Delta Force and CIA paramilitaries. Men who do not exist on any official roster. They didn't knock. They initiated a massive cyber attack to kill the grid. Under the cover of total darkness, silent stealth helicopters, Ghost Hawks, glided over the palace. The operators breached the roof wearing panoramic night vision, turning the pitch-black night into white phosphorus daylight. The resistance was fierce. Elite Cuban G2 intelligence officers fought back, but they were fighting ghosts. Speed was the weapon. Violence was the method. At 0325, they kicked down the door to the master suite. No negotiation, no Miranda rights. Nicolás Maduro was zip-tied, hooded, and gone. By the time the sun rose over Caracas, the package was already on a carrier strike group in the Caribbean. The message to Beijing and Moscow was clear. Your money can buy debt, but it cannot buy safety. The king of cocaine has fallen. The oil has been secured. And the United States just reminded the world that when the stakes are high enough, borders are just imaginary lines.